Hello there guys, my name is Jag Gimpy Dwarf and welcome back to another episode of Space Engineers. So what are we actually doing today? What we're going to be doing is showing off a new prototype of ship that I have come up with and a design that I've come up with for that type of ship, and we're going to test it to destruction against a few of the other frigates in the DDF fleet. So this ship has adorned a different paint sort of palette than the other ones. Reason is because this is purely a suicide ship. So this is the DDF-Ram and this is the first prototype that I've come up with. In the future other ones will become a bit more elaborate than this. I've kind of just gone with what the Gladius and the Athena worked off of in terms of looking like ordinary 21st century vessels, and you know, customizing them to be a bit different. This actually is very different in the sense of the shape of it, in all fairness, because it's kind of like a racer. It's got three large Sage industrial engines on the back, and it's got a bunch of other thrusters located here, there and everywhere just for general control. You can refuel this thing. It does have a refueling port on the bottom. Again, I still can't speak in these videos properly, which is nicely obvious, so you can drop down on here and refuel the ship and things. And if we walk inside here, we've got an airlock just to make sure that, you know, the ship is safe from depressurizing and whatnot. Now in here we do have batteries. The glass hasn't for some reason came over to this side properly, which is slightly annoying. Let's put that in there and recolor them. That's really annoyed me, that is. Why hasn't that done that properly? Oh well. So we've got these batteries in here. These are for just in case the main power does go down and we need a bit more power, because currently this thing runs in forward motion at 80-something% capacity. So, you know, it's only powered on small reactors and no large ones, just because of how easy they are to place in comparison to the large ones. So this is quite a nice ship to be, you know, to run. If we come down here, we have sort of a lit corridor just coming down here. Then we have a staircase that leads us down to the first level. This level actually has cargo containers where you can store specific things. There are only small containers back there, so you know, you can only place items in that section. You've got a nice little seating area for people to come and sit in if they are waiting on anything or anyone. Now back here we do have crew quarters. The crew quarters does cater for sort of food areas as well. And then we also have bedrooms in here. So if I open this door, we have some bedrooms here as well. I've kind of tried to segregate off the sections for the bedding. I personally felt like it looked a bit better, but it's a bit cramped in this ship, so you know, it's a bit of an odd one. And also the actual crew quarters are actually like further forward than anything else, so it's a little bit more dangerous for the crew, but obviously they'll be working and they'll be in the positions they need to be in when the ship rams something, so that's a kind of like a safety thing. Now in this we do have again all the small reactors. There's a few of them, so again, as I said, the ship is solely powered by those, because I felt it was better than having the large reactor and trying to fit one in when I wanted these nice levels to go in. So we come down here. Now instantly we're greeted with the back end of that thruster, which is kind of a nice little feature of its own. In here we have some walkways that lead us underneath the main control deck, and this is like the secondary control deck where people would be sorting out odds and ends, and you can fly a bit further forward if you want. And I do like this area because I like these lights. It makes it seem very military, like, you know, military-esque, which is quite nice, and they light up the areas I need to really nicely. So if we go up this staircase, we've got the main control bridge, which is where everything is controlled from. And as you can see at the front, we do have a camera for targeting purposes, and this is basically the ship. This is all that the ship is made of. It's purely for ramming. Now with this ship, all the front end now is actually heavy armour. So I've used heavy armour slopes and heavy armour blocks and everything, just because it was, you know, it seemed a sensible thing, because a lot of the time these ships will only be used to ram lightly armoured enemies, because heavy armour, as we found out with Jeremy, heavy armour deflects very well against itself. So, you know, we may have to come up with something to penetrate heavy armour, but for now these will be purely for light armour attacks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I just jump back into the seat, what I'll do is I'll set up 3 targets with 3 of these copies of the ship, and what we will do is we will ram them and see how well this thing fares and see how they fare. So we can actually go up against the Gladius, the Elise Consulate and the Athena, and just see how this thing deals with large damage. So I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, so we have 3 of the Rams set up, oh my god, Mark 1s, and we have 3 of the other ships. We have the, from left to right, we have the Athena, we have the Gladius, and then we have the Elise Consulate. So these 3 ships that we're going to go into, 2 of them are very similar, the Athena and the Gladius, but in terms of the Elite Consulate, I don't know how it will fare, because I'm sure we'll just hit a winglet and that'll be it, but we'll have to see. So I have got my F8 camera set up. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to sort of line the ship up and ram, and then we'll just take it in turns, I think, one after the other, and just ram one and then the other and then the other. So if I hit 1, what we actually have is a camera here now, which is really nice, and we can line up very specifically where we want to ram into. So if I go F9 view, what we can do is floor the ship. Now as you can see, it does move quicker than other ships, and hopefully we will hit this direct centre and see what damage it is. So I'm going to pull up a little bit on impact. Oh my god. Oh sweet Jesus. Well, that was definitely different. Holy crap, these things are deadly. I mean, if you look at the damage on that compared to the damage on this, it's just completely insane. I mean, we've actually got a massive hull breach here, which is where the control room is for the Consulate, and it's ripped off a little seating bay there. Oh my god. What, do we have any internal damage? Anything that's completely damaging to the crew in here? No, we don't. So it's dented the front there where the thruster used to be, and just pushed everything back a little bit. But in terms of repairing, that ain't that difficult to repair. So that is freaking sweet. So for the damage that does to what it does to itself is pretty damn good. So I'm gonna get rid of that, but I'm gonna keep the actual Elite Consulate there, and then what I'll do is I'll set up for the second run on the Gladius. Okay, so I've just lined up the Ram with the Gladius cruiser, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to floor it again. I'm going for the centre, like the thickest part of the ship, because this is what you'd want to try and achieve when ramming, and just going to alter my course a little bit up. Here we go. Oh! We go into F8 view and let's have a look. So if I go back into F9 and reverse her back a little bit, we've actually come through the other end. Oh, no. Really? That bad a damage? Yeah, so look at this. This is just devastating. Seriously, these Rams are just awesome. I don't see why people love to shoot so much if they can just ram each other. I think like having 1 or 2 of these ships in the front line would be awesome. However, going deeper into the ship has caused a little bit more damage, but because of the way the ship is set up, with having so much thick armour at the front, as you can see, lots of thick armour, it actually doesn't affect the crew as much as you think it would. That is amazing. And we actually come out of the roof. That's freaking sick. We've actually split through this. We've almost split this ship in half. If we did continued or gone any faster, we would have probably just decimated this thing. We've even gone through the toilet, which is that's freaking beautiful. So what I'm going to do is going to get rid of that one, and I'll set it for the last, and I reckon this one's going to be the most interesting. The reason why is because we've got a turret here as well, which could cause an extra explosion, and everything seems to be central on the Athena. So I'll set up and we'll go in for another run. Okay, so we've just lined up with the Athena. Now this is going to, as I said, probably going to be one of the most interesting because I've actually aimed for the central hub, and this ship is very centralised in where everything is kept that is crucial to the ship. So let's see what happens here, because it's freaking beautiful. Oh, a little resistance from the ship, but overall, I mean, this thing stops as well, which is beautiful. Overall, I mean, if you look at this, I mean, does it have any power still? It has power still, because the power sources are somewhere else. But in terms of, I mean, the top section will still work. However, we've decimated a turret, and I think with that turret it's actually given us a broader spread of damage, because we've broken through the floor here all the way up into the top crew section, and we've just caused massive chaos for the crew. I mean, the only place safe in here would be this tiny room that is sealed off from the atmosphere, and I think that'd be it actually, yeah. So overall that is devastating, and we're going to get rid of this. So in terms of damage, I mean, everything has taken huge hits, and if you aimed, say, for more critical points, say if you knew where the thrusters were, or if you, like the main thrusters, or if you knew where the power sources were for the ships, you'd be able to cripple them really nicely. I mean, especially with the Elise, if I had come down on it, I would have probably ripped through a massive gaping hole in the roof, which would have been sweet, and I would have gone through all the crew compartments and things. However, I think overall, in terms of ships, the Elise would get out lightly in terms of damage. I mean, look at that, and just look at that. That's just absolutely destructive. Okay guys, so that is the chaos and destruction that you can cause with a ship like this. Now I think this is more down to the armour improvements that have been made in the again in the game itself, because Keen Software House actually tweaked with the armour ratings and things and made things so they took more damage or less damage, and of course heavy armour now takes a lot more damage to destroy, so does light armour, but heavy armour compared to light armour being smashed into one another is just completely destructive. So I think that's gone really well actually. I haven't tested this prior to doing this video, so doing it on camera and proving it to you guys first time round has been absolutely awesome. So I think that's all I have to say. If you guys have any ideas and comments on how I can make this thing a bit more deadly, maybe having an explosive front section, or having something that I could launch prior to, you know, hitting the ship to sort of weaken the point even more, then just put it in the comment section below, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Also, thank you for 750 subs. It's really brilliant that we've managed to hit this milestone before Christmas. Well, before, not Christmas, but before New Year's. I mean, I wanted to get 200 originally, and it's just exploded, so thank you guys. And there'll probably be a video coming out about that, but I just wanted to say thank you anyway. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, please like, favorite, and of course subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!